Hi there, Janet Fritz here for Galaxy Girl Creations. Welcome to my channel. Welcome to day 7 of 30 days of sketches. Today's sketch is from Tracey England, and it's got some paper layers in it, which I love because obviously I love paper layers. So that was pretty exciting. And the way she did her sketch is really unique because you can see through the photos where the papers are supposed to go, which I think is kind of cool, especially if looking at a sketch that is not like that is confusing to you. This one was really kind of easy to read. Anyway, I am starting out with this brown paper that has these yellow flowers on it. This is from 49 and Market, and I think it's really beautiful. And I just pulled a bunch of yellows out of my scrap bin. And my main reason for that is because the flowers had the yellow in them on the paper. In the photos, they are not black and white photos, but they're heavily black and white. And then the oldest girl that I take care of, she has got a cosmetology cape over her that is leopard print. So I wanted to go something that was in the neutrals, and so I thought the brown paper worked really well, and I didn't really want to go with something that was leopard printed, so I just went with something that was kind of similar in tone, and I'm going to go from there. I'm adding the yellow because there's yellow on the flowers, not because there's any really like big swatches of yellow in the photos, although that leopard print can kind of read as a little bit of a yellowy brown, so it works well. I am cutting this piece in half and stretching it because I don't have a piece of it that is quite tall enough to fit behind the photo and have it show on both sides of the photo. And then this ombre one is going to go and cover that area that is stretched. Actually, they're all pretty much covering it. So, because they're all 12-inch strips. But I did have to stretch that. And then I'm going to add a little bit of this fiber, which I really liked. I was considering the brown one, but it was just a little bit too dark and heavy. So I'm going with this off-white creamy color one, which I think works well because those flowers have that off-white creamy color as well as the yellow. And, I thought it works great with the photos also because there's a lot of cream in the photo, and it just adds a good texture, especially since that ombre paper is a kind of a different kind of a yellow than the other two papers. I didn't want it to be super prominent, and I probably could have covered up a little bit more of it, but the brighter end of it is getting covered by the photos, so it's just kind of leaving that darker end, which is not as in your face, and then adding this texture is going to help a little bit. And if you'll notice my paper layers, the second layer is kind of more offset towards the bottom of the bottom yellow piece, and then my top yellow piece is going to be situated more towards the top of the next layered yellow piece. Hopefully I explained that okay and you understood what I'm saying there, but that gave me that space to add that fiber, and I really like how that's looking. Now I do have these wood veneer flowers from Some Assemblage Required, and I really love these. I think they're so beautiful. I'm going to go ahead and use those on this layout, but I'm not really sure what else I'm putting on there, with the exception of I have the crafting tool set of wood veneer from Some Assemblage Required, and I'm going to use the scissors out of that. I don't care about the rest at this point in time because this is not a crafting type of layout, but I thought the scissors would be great because she's getting her hair trimmed, and this is not her first trip to the hairstylist, but I think I actually took her on this day, so there's actually photos of it, and I just wanted to grab a picture of it, and there's a little story behind it as well, because she had said her mom said let her get however much she wanted cut off, and she said she wanted like, I don't know, 6 inches or something like that, which she has no concept of what that amount is. And when I told her mom was like, oh, whoa, not that much. So at the end of the day, I think we agreed on 2 inches. You know, she was happy with 2 inches and her parents were happy with 2 inches. And I think the stylist only took like a half an inch off. It was barely even noticeable. But anyway, I just thought I would go ahead and put that in her book. And while I was looking for pieces that I wanted to use, I pulled out my 49 in Market Nature Study collection, and it had this big chipboard window in it, and I'm going to go ahead and use that. I really think it's really cool. I haven't really had a use for it as of yet, but I thought it would be really cool on this page. And then I'm using some of the leftover pieces of chipboard that creates the carrier sheet to pop my photos up because it's the exact same height, and I felt like I wasn't being very wasteful if I used it rather than just throw it in the trash. And it's just going to help support my photos so that they don't get bent into that framework of the window. So everything is popped up just a little bit because of that chipboard, but I really like the way that it ends up looking. It's about the same height as these wood veneer florals because MK's wood veneer is very thin, and it is adhesive backed, so you don't even have to put adhesive on it, but it does have a masking over the front of it, so you do have to remove the masking off the front of the wood veneer. It protects the wood when it is getting etched and scored and cut, and so you just peel that off and your wood veneer is nice and pretty underneath. But you don't have to add any adhesive, which is really cool. So I was trying to figure out what to call this, and I came across the word grow in my chipboard pieces from the same collection. I thought I was going to put a little cluster up here at the top of the window frame, but I decided not to do that. I'm going to end up moving it left to where I'm working right now. I'm just trying to figure out what I want there. But I left that chipboard piece, triangle piece, and I was thinking about cutting off that little dome so it would just hang down, but I don't end up using that, so you can ignore it. I am going to use a tag down here at the bottom. I don't go quite as right justified as the sketch shows. I keep it a little bit more towards the left, but still offset to the right a little bit. The little frame at the bottom here and the tag and this little label, none of those have any height to them. They're just cardstock. So the only height that I'm adding down here right at this point is the wood veneer. Now up at the top here, this little hanging heart piece is chipboard, so that's adding a little bit of added dimension. So I can't really layer anything over the top of it without adding even more dimension. So I'm kind of considering that and leaving it there while I work on this bottom piece. I am inking everything up in a little bit of frayed burlap. No, not frayed burlap. Pumice stone. That is pumice stone that I'm using. Usually I use walnut stain, but this happened to be out on my desk because I've been using a little bit of pumice stone for my cruise layouts, and it's just still sitting there. So I decided to go ahead and use that just to give a little bit of depth and color to some of those ephemera pieces, and I really like the way that that is looking. And then back to the title. I knew I was going to use that piece that says grow. I wasn't really sure what else, but I came across that and I thought it would work well for this layout because, you know, your hair grows. So I was trying to figure out exactly what else I would end up using. And I do pull out a set of thickers that has the tile thickers where it's a rectangle and the letters are printed on it. So my title is going to end up being Cut and Grow. And then there is a little piece in this ephemera pack that says Perfect Specimen. I thought I'd put that on there too. And my thought behind the title being Cut and Grow versus Grow and then Cut is, you know, a lot of times, I don't know if it's still the case. I have short hair at the moment, but it was always like the thing of, you know, if you get your hair trimmed, it'll grow faster. I don't know how true that is. I'm not a hairstylist. I didn't go to school for any of it, but that was always the thing that we were told growing up is get your hair cut and it'll grow. And in fact, you know what? My hair is short and it does keep growing, but it's not, I don't ever grow it out. Well, that's not true. I grow it out and then I cut it off and I grow it out and I cut it off. So that's kind of the thing, right? You know, your hair grows, you give it a trim, whether you take a lot off or a little bit off, that's totally up to you. But that was my thinking. I thought I'd just go Cut and Grow and then Perfect Specimen. And she does have very long hair. You can see that in the photo. And when it is cut, not when it's cut, when it is dried naturally, her hair is very curly. It's really beautiful. She's been blessed with a beautiful head of hair, and she's got a lot of it. But so this is kind of like a little special treatment to go and get her hair trimmed and everything. So far, I can't remember what age her mom starts taking them to the salon. Her sister, who is 4, has not yet been to the salon. I have trimmed her hair multiple times, and I'm not a hairstylist, like I said, but I've cut my own hair. I've cut my kids' hair. I've cut my parents' hair. So it's not like I don't have any experience. And, you know, a trim is a trim. It doesn't have to be that much. So anyway, I have trimmed her sister's hair, but I at some point she will get to go to the salon as well and get a haircut, and then we'll have pictures of that to document, and that'll be kind of fun too for each of them to have one of their early haircuts in their album. So anyway, this chipboard piece does not have any adhesive on it, so I'm just adding a little liquid adhesive and I'm going to glue it down. I am adding a little foam under the edge of this piece that says perfect specimen, because it's going to be somewhat propped up onto that little window frame, and I want to make sure it's supported and doesn't pop off. And then the thickers are actually foam, so I've stuck them directly to the photo and they're just kind of tacked down to the rest of the layout. I don't feel like they're going to go anywhere. The foam thickers tend to stick very well, so it's not usually an issue. And then I'm using a little bit of jute to go through my tag and through this little heart piece, and then I'm tying it off with a little bit of linen thread just to make sure that it stays together. And I don't have to put a knot in the jute, which would make it very bulky because the jute is very thick. That linen thread kind of does the job of holding everything together. While I do that, and as the close-ups come up here, don't forget to go and check out everyone else who is playing along. There's a playlist down below that you can go and check out to get all of the inspiration so far for 30 days of sketches. I am hoping to be back again tomorrow with another video for you, so come back and see me then. If you're not already subscribed, I would love for you to subscribe to my channel, and if you enjoyed this one, I would love for you to hit the thumbs up. And don't forget to give Christy a little love for putting this whole series together. She is Christy at Christy's Beautiful Life, and she has done an awesome job. This is her 14th time of doing 30 days of sketches, so thank you for doing this, Christy. I know we all appreciate it. Thanks for watching, you guys. I'll see you guys again soon. Bye-bye.